In the Middle East, Israeli forces report striking two terrorist commanders in the Gaza Strip after terrorists shot an Israeli soldier. Meanwhile, U.S. warships remains deployed south of Iran as the two countries work through details of upcoming talks. NTD's Jason Perry has the details.
Israeli forces on Wednesday said terrorists in the Gaza Strip opened fire on Israeli troops on the previous night, and the terrorists reportedly shot and severely injured an Israeli reserve officer who was behind the so-called yellow line in accordance with the ceasefire agreement. Afterwards, Israel launched a series of strikes in the territory, which they said was in response to the violation of the ceasefire agreement. Israel reported striking a Palestinian Islamic Jihad brigade commander in the northern Gaza Strip and a Hamas Special Forces platoon commander in the southern Gaza Strip who was apparently in a tent camp in Khan Yunis. A member of the Palestinian Civil Defense said there was more than one strike.
Two people were martyred, a woman and a man. The Red Crescent ambulances headed to the location, the medics arrived, and the Israelis targeted the location one more time. One medic from the Red Crescent was martyred, and another was wounded.
Israel later released a statement saying they took steps prior to the strike to mitigate harm to civilians and that the Israel Defense Forces regret any harm caused to uninvolved civilians. A spokesperson for the Red Crescent said, quote, "The attacks must stop," and that international law provides protection to providers of health and ambulance services. Speaking of ambulances, on the same day, Israel released footage of Hamas terrorists gathered around an ambulance and reportedly loading weapons into the emergency vehicle. Israel said that armed Hamas terrorists repeatedly and systematically use ambulances in the Gaza Strip to transport terrorists and weapons between a hospital and a school. Also in the Middle East, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said he thought the talks between the U.S. and Iran were supposed to take place on Friday, but that the meeting details are still being worked out.
I think in order for talks to actually lead to something meaningful, they will have to include certain things. And that includes the range of their ballistic missiles. That includes their sponsorship of terrorist organizations across the region. That includes the nuclear program, and that includes the treatment of their own people.
And the U.S. Navy released footage on Wednesday of the USS Abraham Lincoln, which is currently deployed south of Iran. President Trump has suggested taking military action against Iran if they don't make a nuclear deal with the U.S. Jason Perry, NTD News.